Hey guys, Time Blitz here, and Fer.al recently put out a new update which introduced the Season Pass. And oh boy, is it something. Let's talk about that. So, the Season Pass is essentially like a battle pass in Fortnite or in Dead by Daylight, where there is a bunch of levels that you need to do challenges to level up with, and then each level in the pass gets you a reward. This is pretty cool. However, it's split between two players, the free players and the premium players. So the pass here that you see is the same for everybody. Everyone sees this screen when they open up their pass, and you can tell what rewards you can get as a free player because it says free down at the bottom here. So, for starters, there are 100 levels on the pass, and out of those 100 levels, only 20 are free, which means that 80% of the pass is unavailable to free players. And then you take a look at what sort of things are free. For example, the very last free thing that you can get on the pass is ingredients. 900, which is a lot, but these are ingredients that anybody can get at any time if they're willing to put in time to grind. Like, this is not a great way to end off the pass for free players. It sucks, if I'm being honest. Like, you play through, you do 90 levels of the pass, and all you get for a final reward is ingredients. And then some of the other things, you get likes, lockpicks, dyes, more lockpicks, more ingredients. There are a couple of cool items, like this right here, picture. You get a couple sanctuary and cosmetic items, but they are usually the least impressive ones on the pass, like this necklace, or like I showed you here, a pitcher of juice. It's not exactly exciting, and it's not the kind of stuff that I would really go out of my way to get, even if they were like items in the shop. I probably wouldn't buy most of these free items that we're getting because they're very bland, very boring. So there's not much of a reason for free players to do the season pass when they're rewarded with stuff that either isn't appealing or they can already get in the game without having to grind through all these challenges. The challenges, they have a good variety of different types of challenges, but those challenges have enabled certain problems with how people go about doing them, because, for example, obtain a kimono bow, obtain a kimono cape. You don't necessarily have to get them yourself from playing the minigames, which is nice, but because these are such rare and hard to get items, and it's like luck based if you even get them, most people are going into the chat asking, see, does anyone have the kimono bow? Stuff like that. This person really wants to find a kimono bow. They're going into the chat, they're going onto Discords, trying to find people who will be willing to let them borrow it. And there are some people who are willing to let them borrow those items, and that's really great. However, it's risky for both people, because what if the person who's borrowing it to complete their quest doesn't give it back? That's a rare item that you just lost. They also, I haven't done much trading myself, but I heard from other players that they changed trading with lockpicks, so now you can't trade in quantities over 99 because of the issue where you couldn't see how many lockpicks were actually being traded. So that's also hurting the economy, and people aren't getting collateral for their items. So if they try to trade, they have to trust trade. They can't just be like, oh, give me like 300 lockpicks and I'll trade you this and then we can trade back. and that's like, a safety net for both people. They don't have that anymore. Let's see. So the season pass has a number of things on here that are actually really cool, but they're stuck for the premium players. So all these enigmas, which after you get the enigma, you can keep crafting that item over and over again. I'm honestly okay with enigmas being on the premium pass because you can keep crafting them over and over again, which means that there isn't ever going to be a limited supply. If you want more, you can make more. Items, however, like, scholarly book stack, or, heaven forbid, the renegade horns, those are going to be in limited supply, because after the pass is done, there's no way to get these items again, which is something that I have yet to find mentioned in the actual game. Like, I read through this, and I might have missed it because there's a lot here, but I didn't see anything about these items not returning. The only place where they've put this is on the Discord, where they have a little FAQ thing, and the question that they have up is the jackalope exclusive to the season? Will any other items from this season be available in the future? And their answer is directly, avatars, sanctuaries, and mods will all be re-released at a later date. Clothing and furniture from the season's past will remain exclusive to this season, so grab them while you can. I feel like that is very important information to put on this page, because if you want any of these items, you have to buy the pass, which is $11, by the way. The pass is only 900 of these star fragments, but you can't buy exactly 900 star fragments. You have to buy in other quantities. So let's see. I don't even know where to go to buy the star fragments. Is it up here? I think. Yes. Okay. So there is no 900 amount. You have to go for the next best, which is 1,000, so you're getting 100 extra for $11. This is another issue this brings me to another issue, that I have, where a lot of the big prizes for the premium pass are like the jackalope or the sanctuary, which I think is over here somewhere. Yeah. These are items that before the pass came out would have been in the shop. So it would have gone up here where they're now selling their premium currency, and I guess that goes here now. But the thing is, the premium pass, if you want either of those two items, you have to buy the pass. You can't just buy one of them like you did with the dragon or the castles over here, which means that you have to spend more if you only want one. If you want both of them, that's fine, because you're gonna get both of them if you grind enough, but if you just want one of those two things, you have to blow $11 on what otherwise would have been 300 or 500 star fragments. I don't think that that is great, because I personally, would I like the jackalope? Sure. Do I want the Shattered Bay Sanctuary? No. I don't care for it. I don't think it looks good with my aesthetic, so I wouldn't use it. But if I want the jackalope, I have to buy access to the sanctuary as well, which is unfortunate. Let's see. This video isn't scripted or anything, so this is just like me talking as I look at it, so apologies if it's a little unorganized. Sanctuary look slots and jackalope mods. These things, I think I'm also okay with them being in the season pass, because again, they're going to be coming back, which means that if you don't get them the first time they appear, it's not the end of the world. You can get them a different time. I think my biggest problem here really is just that all of these furniture and clothing items are stuck on this pass. Like, they're not coming back, so it's forcing your hand to buy them if you want them. They aren't locked behind trading. Like, if somebody has it and wants to trade it, they can. However, because those items are never going to come back and the supply is limited, the prices are going to go up by huge amounts. Like, if they don't change how things go, I'm pretty sure that these items will end up becoming highly sought after, like how the beta tester items are right now. But again, they changed how trading works, so now it's even more difficult to trade high quantities of lockpicks for rare and expensive items. What they really ought to do is just change it so that when you're trading, it shows exactly how many of an item you're trading. The current solution is not good. Let's see. Honestly, I'm just kind of worried about how the pass will hurt the economy. Because like I said, all those items, if they're limited to one season only, they're going to become very, very expensive. And I'm kind of worried that having 80% of your pass locked behind a paywall is just going to send a negative message to the players and also hurt the economy like Animal Jam. I was never really a big Animal Jam player, but I've heard about how whack the economy became and just the gameplay became because of how much was paid content. You couldn't do much of anything without paying for some of it. So, yeah, it's not ideal. I'm not very happy with how the Battle Pass is currently being handled, and I hope that things do change. Personally, I think that if I were in charge of the Battle Pass, what I would do, because obviously you can't make everything free, they need to make money somehow. So what I would do is probably something along the lines of make it where certain items will cycle back more frequently than others, but everything will cycle back. So, for example, like the Jackalope and the Sanctuary, those will cycle back pretty often. And like the mods and stuff, those will come back pretty often. And if they can have it set up where if you already have that from a pass, there's like an alternative prize. Like you get compensated some other way. And that's just for like one-time things like, Cozy Legs or the house. Like you can get duplicates of the clothing and furniture because you can trade those. They're not locked to your account. And then things like enigmas would probably be next. And then the furniture and clothing are lower priority, but they still do cycle back. Like maybe you're guaranteed to see it at least twice a year. At least. Like I'm being generous here with that because I'm assuming that they have a whole big old lineup list of what they're going to put into the passes, so there will be a huge pool of stuff to pick from. But I think that having everything be a one and done sort of deal is not the best, and I feel like it will punish players for not being able to afford the pass that season, or not being able to afford the pass at all. So yeah, also with the challenges, some of these are kind of difficult to pull off. Like, for example, trade 2 skull pits. Like, that doesn't seem too hard, but skull pits are a very rare item, and I currently don't have any of them. And I'm pretty sure that the current map rotation for the marsh, yeah, you can't go over here, which is where they are. You can't get them. And while the season lasts long enough for you to eventually be able to get them, currently you can't. And a lot of my quests right now are kind of like that, where it's stuff that, oops, I clicked on my house and not the pass. But a lot of the challenges that I personally currently have are things that I have to wait for. So, let's see. Complete 2 quests in Lake Root Valley. Lake Root Valley rotated today, so I have to wait for the next rotation to be able to finish that. 2 quests in Mugmire Marsh. I have to wait for that to rotate twice. 2 quests in Blood Tundra. I have to wait for that to rotate twice. Skull Pits, I have to wait for the marsh to rotate so that I can possibly get those pits. Either that or I buy them from someone with our currently very flawed trading system. Oh, I'm stuck on the tree. So, my thought is that there should be a skip option for the challenges. Like, I think maybe once every 3 days, or even once a day, because there's quite a few here, you have the ability to skip one of your challenges and it'll just swap it out for another one. And if this is a way that they can make money too, because they could have it where everybody gets at least one swap per day or per 3 days or whatever. But if you want extra swaps, you can use star fragments for that. People who want to grind out the levels right away but are having trouble getting quests that they can do immediately, that'll encourage them to spend more. And it won't hurt the players who aren't spending to do so, because they still have a chance to skip. It's just that they can't do it as often. I think that would be a pretty good solution for that right now. Yeah, honestly, I think that's about all I really have to say on the matter right now. I'll probably have more eventually, but my current thoughts is just that it's an okay idea, but with how it's being handled, I think that it's going to leave a negative impact on the game. If not now, later down the line when people want those items that they can't get. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts on the pass. Like, do you like it? Do you dislike it? Which aspects do you like about it or dislike? You know, do you agree with some of my suggestions or points? And, you know, let's just hope that Wildworks looks at some of our main concerns and tries to fix them in a way that's satisfying for everyone. Because I understand that they do need to make money. Like, you can't just have an awesome game like this and not be able to make anything off of it. That's not fair. But on a game, like, this is a game that's all about customization and exploration. Like, two of the biggest aspects are to decorate your avatar and decorate your sanctuary. And when almost everything in your battle pass is locked behind a paywall, you can't do that satisfactorily. Like, yes, there are tons of items that you don't have to be premium to get, but if you want any of these items, it's going to be very difficult to get if you don't have money. Like in Dead by Daylight, a lot of those things, like, they're like, a lot of the stuff in Dead by Daylight's pass is customization stuff. The difference is that Dead by Daylight is not a customization sort of game, where Fer.al is. The point of Dead by Daylight is the gameplay. Like, you know, you do your little challenges and you try to fix the generators or kill the survivors. And you don't need to be dressed up for that to happen. You don't need the little charms for that to happen. They're a bonus, but it's far from being the main point. And while there are other parts in Fer.al, you know, like gathering items and stuff and socializing with people, I would argue that customization is definitely one of the biggest draws and biggest gameplay plots in the game. So locking that behind a paywall just feels wrong. Yep, alright, I'm done for now. Hopefully some things change and that the Battle Pass becomes something that everyone can enjoy. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had a good day and a good time watching me walk around as I talk about my thoughts on the Battle Pass. Sorry, Premium Pass. I've had people get mad at me for calling it a Battle Pass. Yeah. Time Blitz out.